One is to really get familiar with the fretboard, right? Different fingerings in different positions. One is to develop speed. One is to develop tone. One is to develop articulation. It's kind of some of the things we talked about yesterday. So one of the things is, playing really expressively. You know what I mean by that? We talked about it yesterday, right? In the Giuliani. How's your tuning? So let's try quarter notes, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to do quarter notes. Do you know this scale? This C scale? And that one? Okay, so you're doing this right. You're playing this one. Play a C scale for me? Okay, that's a good one. I really like playing scales a lot on different strings, so that's a good one. You could also do, if you really want to know what the scale consists of, you could do it just on one string. This way you can feel the spacing between each interval. You know what I mean by interval? Okay, interval is the distance from one note to the next note, right? So if I were to say, just play it on one string, then you'd know that the first one's a whole step from C to D, another whole step, which is 2 frets, right? Half step, 1 fret, whole step, whole step, whole step. So that's a single string scale, right? Then there's scales which are in positions, and those are great because they take you into different territories. So I'll teach you one today, okay? Sometimes people call them Segovia scales, this one that I have. I don't always use them. I have lots of different ways. I use jazz fingering sometimes. But this is a good one to know because this will be familiar to a lot of teachers who you may come across in the future. So we're in second position with your second finger on C. On the 5th string. Do you know the C on the 5th string? One more up. There we go. Okay. So, since we're in the second position, your first 6 notes are going to be in this position. Okay? So we're going to go 2nd finger, 4th finger. Let's do that. Good. And then 1, 2, 4. Oh, sorry. I'm talking about fingering now, right? So this fingering. So first finger. Good. Good. Then the next string is going to be, and then we're going to shift. Right there. Good. Let's just do that much. So we're going to go like this. 3, 4. No shifts. So the scale degree is going to be 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Then back the same way. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you can do the same starting here. Right? But we'll stay with this one. So let's do whole notes first. Okay? And what I'd like you to do is do this sort of vibrato. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You hear the pitch bending? right? That is such a great exercise for the left hand, for warm-up, you know? And you could kind of make it fun by trying it with different strings, different scales. Let's try that, okay? So I'll turn the metronome on. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, yeah. And the trick is not to have the finger move anywhere else. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, get that one ready. 1, get this one ready. Always be thinking ahead. 1, 2, good. Second finger. Good. Get that one ready. Good. Good. 3. Good. Good. Now repeat and then go descending. Good. How about using I and M instead of all the thumb? 2, 3. Third finger ready. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Get the fourth finger ready. Good. Second finger ready. Good. First finger ready. Good. 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 You want to take your chord up? It's getting in the way. Yeah? Okay.
You sure?
Let's try one more time. Go ahead. Now, what I'd like you to do is get the hand in a position where from here to here is the same amount of space as from here to here. If you have your hand like that, then it's really a lot of effort, right? But if you're close, so one of the reasons that I didn't mention about why we do scales this way is 4 beats is kind of a long time, right? You're just waiting there for the next note to play. And what do you think we should be doing in those 4 beats? Which seems like a long time.
Getting ready for the next.
Thinking. It's really important because, you know, reading music or playing, like, you know, scales like this, is sort of like reading a book. Because when you're reading, you're reading what's in front of you right now, but your eyes are always staying front, you know, steady, right? In front of the word that you are. So you're not always going like this. Your eyes are moving, and what you're doing is a little bit behind. So your brain should always be ahead of your fingers. That's a really, really important, with anything, not just guitar. You know, it's less chance of making a mistake because your brain is already sending direction to your fingers and what to do ahead of time. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if somebody was driving, if you were driving and somebody was giving you directions, and you're supposed to take a left turn, and right as you're there, they go, left turn! It's tough to do that, right? You may get into an accident, but if you say, okay, the next light, which is like 2 blocks away, we're going to take a left turn. And then it gives you so much time to say, okay, I'm going to maneuver my car in that way. So that's the reason, that's another great reason for doing that. And if we can start with single notes, with scales, then later on, when we're doing like more difficult pieces, it becomes a lot easier, you know? And your fingers are always ready. And so that preparation is super, super important. It doesn't mean what kind of music you're doing. It could be jazz, rock, whatever, you know? And the faster that your finger moves, the faster your brain then has to stay ahead of time. Okay, let's try that one more time. Let's try I and M. 2, 3, 4. 1, right on the tip of the fingers. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, good. Keep going. Now let's start again this time. And what I'd like you to think about when you're doing that vibrato, when you get to, right before you get to that F natural, I want you to think about it, okay? Sometimes what I do in my practice, let's say I'm practicing the scale, if I make one mistake, I stop right away. And I think about why I made that mistake, I slow down, and sometimes before I get to that note, if I have this little bit of hunch that it's going to go to the wrong place, I slow down. You know? Why do we do that? You know, the fingers have this memory, which is pretty incredible for human beings. If you do something wrong like 2 times in a row, then it takes 1,000,000 times to fix it. So the thing is that as soon as you make that first mistake, you should stop right away. Think and try not to do it again, you know? And so to get to be a player like that or a practice guy like that, you know, with a very efficient practice, you have to do a lot of slow practicing. I love slow practicing. Because then when you finally do pick up the speed and go fast, you see that, oh, I'm not making mistakes. You know, because your brain is kind of helping you, because you've already done the groundwork. Okay? So really, really important when you're first starting to warm up in the morning is that just take your time, relax, you know. Okay? Could we try that again? Now think about the next thing. Think about the next finger. Think about the next one. Where are you going to go? You didn't think. Go right there. Now think. Good. Let's start again. Think. Good. Good. Now I want you to stop. Don't play the next one. I just want you to put your left finger where it needs to go. Took a little while, right? You would have gone there. Let's try it again. Left hand only, no right hand. Go ahead. Start again. Good. Good. This is a really great way of practicing. Good. Now think. Good. Keep going. Good. Good. Right? Okay. Now, do we always need the guitar to practice? How could we practice this without the guitar? Let's say your mom's driving, you're in the back seat. No guitar. How would you practice?
You could listen to music.
You could listen to it. That's one way. How else? Can you tell me the numbers of the fingers? What finger is that?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Just tell me the finger. What's the first one? Which finger?
2,
Okay, then what's next?
4,
Next,
1,
next.
2.
Now you see that? Why did that one take longer? That's the one you were screwing up. You kept going 3. But what happened when you had to think about it? You ended up saying the right thing, right? Okay, let's keep on going. So from that 2, next one.
4,
Good. Next one.
1,
Good.
3,
Next one. Last one.
4.
4. Going backwards.
4,
Good.
3, 1, 2. I mean 4,
Good. Really think.
1, 4, 2.
Good. Now, could you do that? What finger do we start on?
2,
Okay, keep going. 4. I want you to tell me what the fingers are.
2,
Mhm.
4,
Good,
1,
good,
2,
good,
4,
good,
1,
good,
3, 4.
good. Descending?
4,
Mhm.
3,
Good,
1,
good,
4,
good,
2,
good.
1,
Think.
4, 2.
Yeah, one more time, last time. Let's try it now with the right hand. Take your time.
1, 2,
Good, That's right. That's right. You're right. Good. Now, how do you know when you have this down pat? Like you could do it in your sleep. How would you know that? When you play it perfectly, right? No.
Then you can go faster.
No. You know how we're playing right now, and once in a while, your brain throws this, and you're not sure if it's supposed to be 2. When that hesitation is gone, that's when you know you've got it. So here's an example, right? You get up in the morning, you want to brush your teeth. After you put the toothpaste on there, do you look at the toothbrush to make sure it doesn't end up in your nostril or your ear or anything like that?
No.
Do you ever think about it?
No.
Okay, why?
Because I've never done that.
Yeah, exactly. You've never made that mistake. What does that mean? You do it with confidence, right? You don't even think about it. Just put the toothbrush and da-da-da-da, boom, you know, right? That's why. Is because it's never gone into your nostril or your ear. So, if you keep playing, let's say you play 50 times and you don't make a mistake 50 times in a row, then it's just going to be like brushing teeth. So but you have to think about it, and if you say, okay, is it 4, is it 5? Then you know that it's not down yet. So it's the amount of confidence, you know, as soon as you have that amount of confidence that, that you're not, you know that it's just going to be there, you know, then you'll have it. You'll always have it. Every time you sit down, you'll just, you know, I mean, once in a while, you know, maybe you're tired or something and you miss it, but that's the wrong reason for missing it. But if you're missing it because you don't know it, it's different than if you're tired or, you know, you just misfret or something like that. Make sense?
Hey Mir, can I ask
Yeah.
Miles a question? Not to get too far ahead, because I'm going to add one layer, but I'm saying, do you think you could play that scale again very, very, very slowly, no practice like we talk about, where the time is not an issue, and say whether it's a whole step or a half step? Could you try it?
Yeah.
So go ahead and play the first
Yeah,
note.
so you got the first note, right?
And then stop.
Yeah.
And
Is that
tell
all?
us if the next note is a half step or a whole step away.
Whole step.
Okay? Next one.
Half step.
Well, let's see. You think that note is the same as that note? Because that would be a half step, right?
No. I don't think so.
You don't. So do you think it's a whole step?
Yes.
Okay. What's the next one?
Half step.
Okay. Good.
Whole step.
Good. Sing it. You got it?
Half step. Whole step.
Yeah, you just sang a whole step, right? Okay, how about the next one?
Whole step.
Good.
Half step.
There it is. You got it, yeah. Now, if you want to be able to become a master of that, then I would say do it on one string. So how about if you just use this finger for all the notes? You start there, and then just visualize, you know, whole step, right? What's the next? How far is it?
Whole step.
Good, let's go whole step.
Half step.
Good, there we go.
Whole step.
Good,
Whole step.
good.
Half step. Whole step. Half step.
Good. So all the major scales the same, you know? All the major scales the same. There's only half steps, and they're going to be between your 3rd and your 4th scale degree, and between the 7th and the 8th scale degree. So if you're going 1, 2, 3, half step, 4, 5, 6, 7, half step, 8. So there's so many different ways of doing it, you know, so we just explored them, right? in one position or just doing it on one string. So doing it on one string gives you the visualization of it, you know, and then you can just transfer it to somewhere else. Okay? So how did the Giuliani go?
Good.
Good? Can I hear it from the beginning? You know, he's a really sensitive player. When I was accompanying him yesterday, and I was sort of leading, you know, he just followed me. If I was getting louder, he got loud. Both of them are very sensitive. Okay? Oh, let's play together.
It's because I yell at him.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so today what I want to do is I want you to match my sound. Because you're the guy, you're the melody guy, I'm the band, sort of in the background, right? Just accompanying you. So I can't be louder than you. But I don't want to bring down my volume. I want you to play louder. So we talked about this yesterday. What do you have to do? Remember I did it on your knee? I said not like this, but push the string in, right? There we go. Good. And I'd probably start a little bit more here. You know, this is a really vulnerable place to play forte because you don't get a good sound and the string can really vibrate a lot, so it ends up hitting the frets. So if you're going to play really loud, I would say around the natural or maybe somewhere between really ponticello and natural. But can I just hear the first? There we go. Okay, let's try that. Here we go. Yeah, man. Sounding good. That's great. Okay, now let's try something else. Right? Can you check your tuning? Okay. So let's change the character of the piece a little bit. You know, just kind of having a little fun with it and see what happens. So instead of the accompaniment that I just did, what if I were to go like this? Okay? So the rhythm changes. We've changed from 3/4 to 4, but let's see if we can do that. Okay? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. So the rhythm is bum, 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 bum. Okay? All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Bum, 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 bum. Softer, but I really want you to bring that rhythm up, okay? Okay, so I want you to just clap for me where your first note would come in, okay? just keep a straight beat for me like this, okay? I'll start the rhythm, there we go. Now I'm gonna start first and then you start clapping. I want you to start on 1. First figure out where 1 is. Can you? There we go. Ready? Both of you. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, bum, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now find 1. I'm going to do it a couple times, but I just want you to find 1. Just keep clapping. Okay? Good. Now I'm going to do something else. Let's try it one more time first with you playing, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Bum, bum, bum. There's slightly after 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, go. Bum, 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 bum. That's it. You've got it. Now, what do you listen to music at home sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah? I think it'd be a good idea to listen to music that has some groove in it. You know what I mean by that? Where there's drums, you know, bass, kind of Latin stuff, you know, that's kind of fun to play with. Because, you know, Suzuki doesn't have to be the way we play it. After we learn the tune, we can do other things with it, you know, that are fun, you know. I mean, the tune itself is fun, but it's even more fun if we can kind of play it in a lot of different ways, you know. So, if we had a lesson tomorrow, your assignment would be to try to play that tune in 4 instead of 3. Instead of going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and go, dum, 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. You know? Sound exciting? Okay. And let's summarize the lesson now. So we talked about scales, warm up. So when you start, you know, to practice, try to find something that you're going to do really slow, and really think about it. Set yourself a goal before you start. You know, like ask yourself, why am I doing this? Maybe I'm doing it to do the vibrato thing. Maybe I'm doing it to kind of just do it on one string to figure out the spacing between the strings. Okay? All right, man. Great working with you. Good job.